Good afternoon, good people. This is David Sutter with the High Table, and I have a very, very special guest. By the way, this is season 3, okay? And so I have a very special guest, Prather of North Nashville, by way of Whites Creek High School, Tennessee State University. That's right. Oh, Lord, don't do that. She throwing signs. She throwing signs. And I want her to be on the show because I watched her from a distance be great. Raise her children, become a business owner, become an author. And I just feel like that type of inspiration these young girls and young women need to see. And so let's, without further ado, introduce yourself.
Well, thank you so much, David. I appreciate the opportunity to sit across from you today.
Absolutely.
Like he said, I'm Autumn Prather, born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee. A unicorn, I guess.
Okay.
Because everybody else, 90% of us are transplants, apparently.
Right.
So I've seen the city grow. I've seen it, in its infancy all the way up to its
Current state. Right.
So it's been very inspiring to see, to be honest. But, being a native Nashvilleian, I love the city, and I'm ready to see great things happen.
Right. Okay. So, what year did you? I'll start from the beginning.
Okay.
Just growing up environment, because I like to know how people started their growth and their mentors and things like that. Growing up, who was your first mentor and why?
Oh wow! I would say my first mentor, probably my mother.
Okay.
My mother was extremely wise. I wanted to be her. I wanted to do everything that she did. I wanted to walk like her and talk like her and dress like her. And she gave me some of the best advice that a mother could give. And so I embodied that spirit and carried it with me throughout my whole life. But if we're speaking community advisors or mentors, I think my English teacher, my 12th grade English teacher, her name was Miss Mance at Whites Creek High School.
Wow.
She was just so classy,
Right.
so articulate. I loved her teaching style, and she actually inspired me to want to become sort of an educator. I didn't know if it was going to be inside of a classroom or out in the community, but that is my ultimate goal, is to be an educator of some sort.
Wow. And so you talk about your mom. So being around strong black women has really empowered you along the way.
Absolutely.
What year did you graduate from high school?
1993.
In 93. I remember one of my favorite teachers, Miss Harsh, this old white lady with a big old booty. She was, I'm sorry, Miss Harsh, but she was always on us, and she loved us. She knew some of us come from some tough backgrounds, but boy, she was on our tail, buddy. Like it was bar none. She kept the bar very high, and the expectations as well.
Exactly.
And I can recall her, Miss Burgess, Matthew Burgess' mother. You know Matthew Burgess? Oh, his mother was tough. Oh, Miss Burgess, listen. You did not play in her classroom, and the expectation was even higher. And so, seeing and Miss Hodge was white, and Miss Burgess was black, and seeing how she treated the kids, man, she saw greatness in everybody, in spite of the F on the test or not coming to class. When you come to her class, no talking, no playing. You better have a number 2 pencil. As a new, it's a notebook paper. Absolutely. Remember that pencil?
Oh my goodness.
Right.
The number 2.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And so now you in high school and you're inspired by this woman. Yeah. Did you take some of the traits from both women and just kind of apply them to yourself as you go through college, or how did that work?
Yeah, and I need to add another mentor and inspiration in high school. Miss Bobby Williams.
Okay.
My sorority sister.
Okay.
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Okay.
She really set that bar.
Okay.
Like you talk about your teacher.
Right.
And she pushed and she, made us the achievers that we are.
Right.
And is still doing that today. So, Yeah, the traits that I take from those women would be, again, the classiness, the decorum,
Right.
the intelligence, just the ability to look at a young, budding black woman,
Right.
back in that day, and just mold her into being what she would become.
Right.
I think that was key for all of the ladies that inspired me.
Right. And so, did you see? Oh, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
You're a businesswoman. What inspired you to jump into business for yourself?
Back in the 90s.
Such a good era. The 90s.
Oh my gosh, if we could go back.
Oh my goodness, it was a great era. Hadley Park.
We might have to just stop and talk about
that.
Right.
We
for
can.
Just a second.
Right.
I mean, Fountain Square.
Right.
Rivergate. Which breaks my heart.
Oh my goodness, they tore it down about a month ago.
It breaks my heart.
Yeah.
All of those, Heartthrob, Malibu, Oasis.
That's right.
Just, Summer Lights. Do you remember Summer Lights?
That's right. Oh, you didn't mention one thing, Hadley Park.
Hadley Park on Sundays.
That's right. Had to be there.
Had to be
there.
And then Centennial Park.
Then Centennial Park. That's right.
Yeah. So the 90s are such a great decade for me. During that time is when I really developed a sense of leadership.
Okay.
I was involved in inroads.
Okay.
With the great Mr. Derek Young.
Okay.
And I should add him to that list of inspiring
mentors. Right.
And mentors.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was also a part of the math in high school. I was
Right.
president of the math club. So during the 90s, I started to get that itch, that leadership,
Right.
that business acumen itch. And inroads really kind of reframed what that black woman, corporate America scene should look like.
Right.
And so they pushed a lot of business management, finance, economics, running your own business, being an entrepreneur.
Right.
And so through inroads and through other Saturday morning enrichments, such as Engineering Saturday Academy at Tennessee State University, all of those things combined began to plant something in me that says, okay, this is where I'm supposed to go in this world at this time in the 90s. And so business administration was the major that I chose at Tennessee State University. I will be honest, it was accounting.
Okay.
My first 3 years.
Okay.
And then something happened. I pledged a sorority.
That'll do it. What happened?
A little bit too much partying.
Okay.
I will be honest. A little bit, just being in the culture, HBCU.
Yes.
I finally, attained a goal that was in the making for years. And hey, studies they slid a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I got it back up.
Okay.
I got it back up.
Okay.
Changed my major to business administration.
After 3
and
years?
soared.
After
3 years.
Wow.
And soared. Graduated cum laude, by the way. So I didn't do bad at all.
Right.
But I think, just going back to your original question, it was ingrained in me from a very early age.
Right. And mentorship clearly is important.
Yes.
To you, and you mentor so many people, grown women and young girls as well. It's amazing that we all have fans, not fans, but people that look up to us, not even knowing that they actually watching what we do and watching what we say. Those ladies that inspired you, did you kind of take a look in the mirror and say, hey, I have to do better in this way? Or what kind of made you change once you start comparing how they looked and how they talked to what you were doing?
Yeah, I think it's generational.
Okay.
you know, I'm just saying Gen X.
Right.
We're the strongest,
I agree
probably generation in the world.
Right.
So we were raised differently.
Right.
We were latchkey kids. We knew how to cook, clean, all that by 5 years old.
Everything.
We just had that, spirit of we're going to run the world one day.
Right.
And so it was not hard, I don't think, for my mentors to get me to see my value.
Okay.
And get me to see that what I bring to the table matters. But in this day and age, something's happened.
Okay.
We've had some sort of maybe regression through the generations.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that? A lot of times, I wonder how people are raising their kids. Okay. And not saying that parents raise their kids soft, but it's like they don't want to raise their kids how we were raised, as if how we were raised was so bad.
Yeah.
And so why do you think that is?
Well, I think 24-hour TV has done a lot of influencing in our current generation.
Right.
Different from ours.
Yeah,
I mean, our TV went off. Right?
8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
At some point, our TV was off. We didn't have 24-hour news cycles. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have any of that. So we took our butts to bed.
Right.
But this, just over the years, being inundated with, the media and parents, honestly, and this is just my opinion, wanting to be friends with their children
Got it.
instead of parents.
Right.
And that's a really sensitive subject for me because I wanted to be friends with my children as well.
Right.
But at the right time.
Right.
There is a time when that is appropriate.
Right. I agree.
But the formative years, even the high school years, you can't be friends with your children. You have to raise them.
Right.
So I think that's the biggest difference for the sort of regression from what I went through and what changed for me in how I mentor young girls is that I meet them where they are, but I also know what they are burdened with.
Right.
The constant downloading of I have to be this or I have to be that because I see this all day and all night on my phone, on my tablet, on my TV.
Right. And I tell you, you talk about the comparing.
Yeah.
We would compare ourselves to others, but we had one image of what we want to be. With the phone, you have thousands, a million
yes.
of, hey, this is how you should look.
Yes.
This is how you should act and do this to your body, something like that. And so I can recall me wanting to be like a lot of people. I was inspired by a lot of guys, but even now at 55, I have to catch myself. Hey, I'm doing all right. I don't have to look at this person. And we all on social media, maybe more than what we should be. But how do you think we can combat that with this informational age of these kids are 6 years old with a phone, 10 years old with a phone? Any ideas on you think how we can kind of handle that a little bit?
I mean, I think really and truly there's again a time and a place for everything.
Right.
And there's a balance that has to be there. Right. It's different. My daughter is 26 now.
Okay.
And so Instagram was just coming out when she was in her teens.
Right.
And so you have to put those parental controls in place, or you have to get the kind of phone that you can monitor and make sure that, certain websites are blocked. Right. I don't think it's going to go away.
It may be getting worse.
I think it's probably going to get worse before it gets better, to be honest. I mean, because, the iPad has become the babysitter.
True.
Even in churches,
The preacher has an iPad.
Yeah.
I forgot what they call it. It's some word or phrase that kind of combines the church, and you can use your phone to kind of find scripture and stuff. I forgot what it's called, but
yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah, everything is digital.
Right.
Everything is
right.
digital.
Right.
And so, our kids are occupied with the digital world 24/7. And I just, I don't know of a remedy yet of what that's going to look like. I just know that there needs to be a balance. It's okay because my son, he's a gamer.
Okay.
And so, and I know, and I've done the research that can yield lots of money.
It can't. And see, that's the kicker of pulling people in. Anything we do with the phone potentially can be monetized.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so, but why your son and not the next person's son? I think the universe has to choose who's popular. Everybody's good. Your son is good. I know he's good. But there's another kid in New York who's good. So who gets the energy? I don't know.
Yeah.
So what they do is they put more time into it. They become proficient in that. And to your point, Twitch is $1 million business.
It is.
Instagram, people make thousands of dollars a month from their living room.
Yeah.
Which makes me ask this question: where do you put college on the totem pole of a necessity, or like, you don't have to go?
Oh, that's a great question. That's a great question, and it's becoming, I think, more of a topic now in households.
Yes.
But I think there's three. It maybe even four. So you can go the community college route.
Right.
Especially here in Tennessee. You can get your 2 years for free.
Okay.
And then get those
in Nashville State.
Yeah. And then transfer to a 4-year college or university.
Right.
Great option. Then you can do a trade school. You can get your HVAC certification, plumbing, electrician.
Yes.
Cosmetology.
Yes.
All the vocations that we used to have.
That's right.
In
That's right.
the 90s.
That's right.
Yeah. And then you have your entrepreneurs, those who just want to branch out and do their own thing, either consulting, coaching, podcasting.
Right.
And then you have the gaming side.
Right.
And I think that college now, with the economy the way it is and weighing the return on investment, the money that you're shelling out to get a college degree versus the type of job or a job that you may or may not get with said college degree, even master's or higher. I think a lot of families are opting for, maybe trades or maybe just branching out on your own and really monetizing, as you said, the digital world.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it is a fine line because I think the people that are pushing education are not telling the entire truth. I think they're telling the half truth. In the effect of, you should get your degree, however, you don't need your degree. And being in the school system, they push this testing.
Right.
But if the AC unit goes off in the school, you're going to call somebody with a trade and pay them whatever they want, because nobody want to be piping hot. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's sort of it's a fine line between the two. Both sides make sense.
It's a catch-22.
It is a catch-22.
Yeah.
But it's unfair for your daughter to be, and she's not, I'm just making this example, or my son to be in $200,000 worth of debt. And we're making $20 an hour.
Exactly.
See, that's unfair.
It's very unfair.
That's unfair, but it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, of course, I'm not downplaying the fact that you got to have the education, especially if you want to go into the medical field.
Gotta have important fields like that.
Yeah.
Law, medicine, you got to have the education.
You got to have those credentials.
Exactly.
Right.
As we've seen here lately, with the people not really being honest about being a doctor. But anyway, we're not gonna go there.
No, we're not gonna go
this
there.
This ain't the kind of podcast.
Yeah, but I think honestly, just to kind of tie it up and put a bow, you got to really talk to your kids.
I agree.
And understand where their passions are, and if you see that your child is going towards they want to be in medicine. They want to be in public health. They want to be in law. Okay, then we know that college is the route that they should take. If we're seeing that they are just not interested in those types of things, then we have other alternatives, and that's the beauty of it.
But they don't push the alternatives, though.
Yeah, but us as parents, we have to know that there are options, other options out there. And it's okay if our kids don't want to go to a four-year college or university. It is definitely okay. Now, going back to the 90s, that at that time,
you had to go.
College was pushed.
And
we did we did the needful. We did the needful. And did it pay off? To some degree. To some degree, yes. A lot of my peers are retiring.
Yes, they are.
They got that good job right out of college, and they stayed there for 25, 30 years, and they're retiring. And that's absolutely wonderful for them. But for some, it didn't work out that way, and then they charted their own paths. And so I think that's important as well.
And I also think that whatever path involve parents. Now, I'm not going to get into or try to gauge the level of involvement for parents. I think they should be to a certain extent. However, sometimes kids don't want to be honest and say, I don't want to go to college. If you look at high school now, it's difficult. High school is not easy as it once was.
The core curriculum.
The core is tough.
It's definitely different. But one thing that I do like about the high schools now is that they have the pathways and they have the academies, and they do have those whatever your child may be interested in, there is something that they can get involved with within the school system that can put them on that path. And college, again, may not be where they end up, but they will get the necessary tools in that academy or that pathway. So that is something that I am grateful for now.
My son graduated with a degree in sports psychology, but he loves the restaurant business. He loves the bartending. He loves the wait tables. That's his passion. And so, to our earlier point, if kids go to school, acquire a form of debt, but then possibly don't work in their field, I think he's the poster child for that. And other kids say, hey, I'm going to finish this degree, but my passion is over here. I think he understands that you got to have some paperwork that you're educated. You may not need to be a doctor or your master's, but you got to have at least a BS. You know what I'm saying? Because things never really work out the first or second or third time you try it. You go into a job with a degree, it does mean a little bit. Okay, so how did you, with your children, you have a 26-year-old daughter, how did she come to you and say, Mom, I want to do this instead of what you want me to do? Or did y'all have that conversation?
That's very interesting. My daughter showed interest in being in the dental field very early in life. Very early in life. And so I knew, college is on her radar. And honestly, I started setting up resources for her to have and go to in order to meet those goals. Early in, when she told me she would love to go into the dental field. And so choosing a college to go to, it was sort of a no-brainer.
Okay.
I mean,
of
my
course.
mother went to Tennessee State. I went to Tennessee State, so she's a third generation
Right.
TSU graduate. And, you know, matriculating through TSU, she found out that maybe that initial passion for dental school was not necessarily there at that point.
Right.
But so she pivoted and she went into public health. And that was sort of where she thrived. And she was able to obtain her master's degree in public health as well.
Wow.
And, you know, she's gainfully employed with the state, doing some amazing things. And so you know, whatever her interests were as a child and as a teenager, again, I put the resources in place so that she could kind of see what it entailed.
Right.
When she got to college and was of age, she could make her own decisions
Right.
as to what she wanted to do from then on out.
Right.
But I had to make sure to make, you know, do everything in my power to put her in the right, you know, to put her in front of the right people,
Right.
And at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, that is great. That tells me that you've been her influence from the very beginning, right? And so you had those talks with her. And I love how mothers and daughters have that relationship.
Yes.
You know, most daughters want to be like their mother. You know what I'm saying? Which is amazing. So now I want to get to your time. We talked about your time in TSU. You became an AKA. You know,
Yes.
you flunked out of college. I'm just playing. You did. You did. But I know you didn't flunk out. But you know, though, I wish I had gone to a HBCU around homecoming. I went to Trevecca, and it's that void a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love Trevecca. Trust me. I spent 5 years there, okay, trying to get out of there. But it's something about being around your people. Did you feel empowered being around all those black people? Did you feel competition to do well?
Oh, wow. Great question.
Yeah.
Let's
talk empowerment first. Being around all those black people.
Okay, so TSU, I was already familiar with Tennessee State University.
Yes.
We can take it all the way back to when I was 4 years old. I went to TSU's Early Learning Center.
Wow.
Okay, so I was already on campus as a baby. Had no idea that's where I would end up.
Right.
You know, 20-something years later or so. Well, not 20, but you know, you know what I mean.
Right.
But becoming getting on campus and seeing the diversity, it was such and it wasn't overwhelming, but it was like, what's up, cousin? It was such a vibe to see this person from Chicago, this person from Detroit, this person from New York, this person from New Orleans, this person from Texas, and we all had that synergy that we are around Black excellence and we want to see each other win.
Right.
I did not experience any sort of competition.
Wow.
Except for, of course, when you're going out for a certain, you know, major red, all that type of stuff.
But let me interject for a second. When I mean competition, academically, you want to be the best in your class. Did you feel that type of competition?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Really?
The competition it was all complimentary.
Got it.
It was complimentary. Okay. It was not competition. It was let me help you. Let's form study groups.
Right.
Let's go to the library. Let's get this thing, you know, popping so that you can succeed.
Right, exactly.
And you can graduate on time and you can have the GPA you need to have in order to go wherever the next chapter wants to take you. So that that culture was there. It was all about uplifting each other. Rarely did we have any problems, you know, rubbing elbows with other backgrounds of people.
Right.
That was not an issue at all. Everybody was there for one thing and one thing only, and that was to be the best that we could be.
I asked that question because when I've seen some videos of black African Americans going to Ivy League schools.
Yeah.
And they talk of competition. Mm-hmm. And once they get into these rooms of these said, scholars, they find out that they're not really that smart. I mean, they're smart, but not how they were. Yeah. You think they would be. And so that's why I asked about the competition, just trying to be the best. But being around black people, we just have a certain level of camaraderie. You know what I mean? Yeah. Why don't we all go across the line at the same time and we all be successful? Mm-hmm. At Trevecca, I didn't get much competition to feel that much. Of course, it was just kind of what it was. This is in the late 90s. In order to graduate from Trevecca, you needed 4 Christian classes. See if I can remember them. Philosophy, Christian thought, Christian life and ministry, and biblical faith. Mm-hmm. You couldn't graduate without those classes. Okay. You had to do it. And so, yes, it was kind of competitive. You want to be the best you could be, but it was tough. Mm-hmm. Tough classes. So the second part of the question, which I probably forgot, the first part was empowerment. What was the second part? You forgot it. It'll come back up. Look, and so now you graduated from TSU. Mm-hmm. Okay. What are your goals now? You've made it. You become an AKA. You've done well. You're magna cum laude. You switch majors, which is a feat within itself. Yeah. And you did this all within 4 years or 5 years?
I did it in 4 years.
Wow. Hold on, time out. Give you a hand clap for that. Okay.
But we're missing a very crucial piece to my college career.
Okay.
And that's me becoming a sophisticated lady.
AKA.
No. Majorette.
Talk about, okay, sorry.
We gotta talk about the aristocrat of bands.
I'm sorry, I wasn't in the band.
Come on, Dave.
I'm sure I was looking at you from the stands.
Oh my God.
Because y'all got jiggy with it.
Now listen. If I had to freeze a particular year.
A moment in time,
it would be 1995.
Speak on.
1995 is when, I became a majorette in 1994. Okay. And so I was under some great leadership. Mm-hmm. My captains, Tamara and Lady Altavis Cook. Okay. And we just had the best time. Right. You're talking about, again, in HBCU, the culture, the camaraderie, like I said, the cousins. We were all cousins. Right. But then you add this layer of sisterhood before I became an AK. See, this is all before I became an AK. Wow. I had a sisterhood within the sophisticated ladies. Right. And so, and so you may say, well, how did you get to become a sophisticated lady? Well, I have been dancing since I was 3 years old. My mother was a dancer. She taught dance at Metro Parks and Recreation for over 35 years. Wow. And so I knew when I got to Tennessee State that that's what I wanted to be. Right. And so that was accomplished. That goal was checked off. And so having that sisterhood around me with the sophisticated ladies, and then in 95, actually becoming the head majorette. So again, I'm out. So again, that leadership quality that was ingrained in me back around the 7th and 8th grade through high school was carried. Oh, in high school, let's back up. I was head majorette for the Band of Distinction at Whites Creek High School. But
see, hold on, time out. So you come from Whites Creek, which was always known to have a big band under Mr. Churchwell.
Yes. And then under Mr. Morton.
Mr. Morton from Maplewood High School. But anyway.
Yes.
So now, I had to throw it in there. So now you coming to TSU with a chip on your shoulder, like you coming to be the best majorette. You have to be.
I have to be.
You have to be. Talk about that transition from. Yeah. See, I told you we had something to talk about. I told you that.
Yes.
Talk about coming from the Whites Creek from a majestic position. The band is one thing, but the beautiful majorettes, and y'all were known to be beautiful, and you were beautiful. Now you're going to TSU with other beautiful women, but you got to beat them out for their position.
Yes.
How was that? Talk about that competition. Where did that competitive spirit come from?
Well, let me tell you something. When I went out for majorette at Whites Creek, very competitive.
Okay.
Hundreds of girls.
Really?
And let me tell you how old school this is. The way you found out that you had made the majorette squad at Whites Creek was that you got a personal phone call from the Mr. Robert Churchwell.
Wow.
At your house phone, on your landline. No cell phone. No posting it on Instagram. No, he called your home. 615-876-1190. That was my house number. And he personally told me, you have been selected as a lady of distinction, Whites Creek Majorette. The absolute best day of my life in high school. So we were always known as Little TSU.
Okay.
So of course,
exactly.
When we, were in the parade for TSU homecoming, that's all you could hear. Everybody hollered, "Oh, here comes Little TSU," and so it was such an amazing feeling to know that we were looked at as such, and the next best thing was to become a TSU majorette. So here's a story though. In 1993, I went out for the sophisticated ladies at Tennessee State University.
Okay.
And I did not make it.
Wow.
You talking about heartbroken.
Really?
Heartbroken because, I'm coming off of the heels of being a head majorette at one of the best high schools, Whites Creek High School. Again,
here she go.
One of the best high schools in the city.
Right.
Going to the best HBCU in the city to be a majorette, and you tell me I don't make it?
Wow.
Like, why wasn't I good enough to make it? That was my question.
How did you feel in that moment?
Well, in the moment, I was very disappointed because honestly, I came in knowing that I was going to make it.
Right.
I was a dancer.
Right.
I'd been a dancer all my life. And so I learned, and I asked the question, what is it that I can do to make it next time? And I think that was key.
Okay.
To have that sort of maturity to say, you know what, I didn't make it.
Right.
My feelings are hurt.
Right.
My heart is broken. But let me go ask the question.
Right.
What is it that I didn't have? What was the gap? What can I do?
To get better.
To get better. And I was told, and I worked my butt off that summer.
Right.
So the summer of 94.
Right.
Running
Focus.
Timothy Park.
Focus.
Every day. Focused.
Right.
And when I went back out for the squad,
right.
number 10, never forget it.
Right.
I made it. So that's just a lesson in, just because you think you're the best in one era.
Doesn't mean a daggone thing.
It doesn't mean a thing.
It doesn't.
You got to work your butt off.
That's right. That's right.
I did not have that privilege that I thought I would have.
Right.
Just because I came from the top.
Right.
At one school.
Right.
Thinking I'm going to be, automatically get it at another.
Yeah.
On another level. It didn't happen that way for me. I had to work for it. And that was one of the biggest lessons at TSU for me.
Right.
And so, again, becoming head majorette in 95, again, that leadership quality was there. And so I was leading a team of young ladies who was looking up to me to guide them and to show them how to be those stallions. And how to carry that legacy
absolutely.
forward.
I see you smiling because you think those some good times.
Yes, and how to carry that legacy forward because it was more than just dance for us.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, it was really a sisterhood.
Right, and one thing you did, you advocated for yourself.
I did.
That's huge. That is huge. And you was talking about coming from Whites Creek to TSU, you didn't get it. It's no one gets things on the first try.
Yeah.
It builds character.
It builds a lot of character.
Not in that moment because you're heartbroken.
Yeah.
But it just does. I remember, you don't believe this. This is a crazy story. My dad took me and my best friend, Alan Horton. You may know him, you may not know him. Mm-hmm. Took us to a AAU basketball tryout. Mm-hmm. I get cut. He makes it. So we had to take him back home.
Oh.
And I was devastated. Yeah. But it gave me fuel to keep going. Mm-hmm. And so no successful person wins all the time. It's
right.
That think about getting the way you want to get to. And you get there, it's not what you wanted. It's the journey that you really like.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
It is.
You know, and so now, I had to say that. So now you are the head majorette. Mm-hmm. How you feeling about yourself? Did you, in that moment, did you ever like look back and say, I got cut, or I've gotten better, I've learned, or are you feeling yourself? Did you feel yourself just a little bit?
It was all the things.
It was
all the things because
right.
I earned my spot.
You earned it, right.
I earned it.
How many girls went out for TSU?
Oh my gosh. See, back then, the campus was a little different. They changed it a lot. And we went out for the squad outside in the heat of the summer, like the dead heat of summer. And the whole North Nashville community came out, especially the men.
Of course.
And they would park their cars at the top of the hill.
We so easy. It's ridiculous.
And they would watch us try out for this coveted spot.
Right.
And they would actually blow their horns or flicker their lights for the girl who they thought should make it.
Wow.
You're talking about pressure. But I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, it was at least 10 rows of 15 girls.
Wow.
Outside on the hill, and everybody was fighting for their life.
Wow.
It was hot. The routine was...
It wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy.
Right.
People falling out. People cracking knees and ankles.
Yeah.
And then that was the first day. Now, in order to continue the process, you had to be back at that field at 5 a.m. the next morning.
Wow. How many hours practice?
Oh, sometimes we had 6 a.m. practices, before classes.
Right.
Sometimes, but most of it was like 5 to 9.
5 to 9.
Most days. And then of course performances on Saturday. Yeah.
I had no idea. As I get older, I find out that the band was the place to be. The band was live.
Listen, the band was in better shape than the football players. Okay.
Right. Absolutely.
We trained. We worked. Yeah.
Wow. So you go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, no, I mean, it's awe-inspiring, and I can't put it into words how that time of my life just was the best. Right. Again, I would freeze 1995 because, and I didn't finish the thought, but it's when I became head majorette, and it's also when I became an AKA.
Okay.
So again, became a majorette first with that sisterhood,
right,
and then of course became an AKA with that sisterhood.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And so now you are out of college. Let's talk about what you've done, like in the past few years. You've been an author. What inspired you to want to write?
Very good question.
Yes.
I brought my book. I just want to put it up here.
Yes.
And it's called Preparing a Fruitful Harvest, One Mother's Pursuit of Generational Health. Okay. So this book was, I don't want to say it was an accident, but we were in COVID.
Okay.
So October 2020. And I had a good friend of mine reach out, a publisher.
Okay.
Childhood friend, he reached out to me on social media. He said, "Hey, Autumn, I'm noticing your posts. You're posting a lot of good content for young ladies, for mothers. You have a story to tell. You may not know it yet, but I can see it. And he said, you ought to think about writing a book. And again, we were in COVID. Where could we go?
Right. Lockdown.
We were locked down.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, why not? I'm not doing anything else.
Right.
And so he encouraged me to just start writing. He said, don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about punctuation. Don't worry about any of that. Just write. Write your thoughts. Doesn't matter how grammatically incorrect they are. Don't matter how harsh, or use the words that come first.
Right.
Just don't even think about it. And I just started doing that. And it's just amazing how you don't realize how much you are harboring on different things in your life.
Right.
And I just started writing and just writing and just writing and just writing. And, we would meet often, and he would critique my words.
Right.
And then he would teach me how to put color around it, how to really make it pop on paper. Because, people just reading a book, if they're just words in a book, okay, how's that going to affect me?
Right.
But to know how to frame it and to know how to present it in a way that people are going to be like, oh, okay, this is interesting. That was really key for me in learning how to write a book. Because, again, I graduated number 10 in my high school class. I think I'm pretty smart. I think I'm intelligent.
You are.
So to write a book, I thought, okay, this is easy. But it really wasn't, because I didn't know all of the intricacies and the nuances of writing. And so I had to learn that. So that's just another skill set that I picked up during that time.
Amazing how during COVID, a lot of great ideas were birthed.
Absolutely.
The world had shut down, so you had to, other than the trucking business, which was the only thing running up and down, we had to get our goods and stuff. But a lot of people came up with some great ideas, books, businesses, a lot of stuff. And so you was inspired to write the book. Did you perceive yourself as a writer, like initially, like prior to? Was this like just a mind-blowing challenge that you say, I got to accomplish this? Because when I think of you, I think of a woman that has an idea and has a challenge and don't stop until she gets what she wants. So
that's exactly who I was.
Right.
Yes. Yes, I actually considered myself a writer prior to being a published author.
Right.
I do a lot of copy for my sorority. Writing either memos or committee reports or being president of my chapter. I had to do a lot of that type of thing.
Right.
So yeah, I was already a writer in a sense, great verbal and oral communicator. So, but again, being an author and just writing memos and texts or emails is very, very different.
Right. And so where do you see yourself within the next, let's say, 10 years? Let's go out. Because you're 25 now, so you'll be 35. So in the next 10 years, where do you see yourself? Because you're a Renaissance woman. You're a mother, you're a business person, you're highly educated. So when I think of you, and I think of you as somebody that's going to be doing a bunch of things, mastering a lot of things, okay? But how do you see yourself?
Wow. Well, I appreciate that compliment, a Renaissance woman.
Yeah.
Didn't really think of myself as that, but I'll take it. In the next 10 years, that's a great question. I've thought about it a lot.
Okay.
I hope to have been retired by then.
Okay.
And my dream is to be able to be on somebody's stage, whether it's a conference, whether it's a retreat, whether it's a church function, it's a stage.
Right.
Where I am delivering a keynote address that uplifts,
you're a speaker as
motivates.
Well. That's right.
I am a speaker. And my motto is, my goal in speaking is to touch, to teach, and to move audiences to action.
Okay.
So that is my ultimate retirement plan.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily, when I say retire, I just mean, from a 9 to 5.
Right.
But I want to live out my dream of just really being a presenter, either through workshop facilitation, speaking, any number of things like that. I'm, again, as I said in the very beginning of this podcast, I'm an educator by passion.
Right.
And maybe it's not in a traditional classroom.
Right.
But I think it's on a stage internationally and all of that. So that's where I see myself in about 10 years.
Hey, that's impressive. When your dreams, kind of scare you, that means you're in the right path.
Exactly.
And so you want to be internationally known and locally respected.
Exactly.
I respect it. So
yes,
we're going to stop right here. This has been amazing. I've got to know you a little bit more. We've been friends for a long time. I think I even helped you move before, I think.
Yeah, you did.
I did help you move. That's right. You did a lot of stuff
did.
too. That's right. I helped her move when I was in the moving business. She worked me to death, but she paid me good too. She paid me very well with a tip. So shout out to her.
I did.
And so, anything you want to say to the people before we go? Any parting words? Promote your book? Anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one thing that we did not get to, but I want to mention is that my daughter and I, we are co-founders of a nonprofit. It's called the Mother and Daughter Experience. We've been in existence since 2019, and our inspiration is my late mother. And we have a scholarship formed in her honor where we give scholarships to dance companies all over the city, again, from our dance background.
Right.
And that legacy, just keeping that alive. And we are having a mother-daughter conference on August the 1st. And it's going to be at Stratford STEM Magnet School. It's a half-day experience. It begins at 9 a.m. to 2:30. We're going to have speakers. We're going to have time for reconnection, recommitment, and rejuvenation of the mother and daughter relationship. And all women and girls are welcome to come, not just mothers and daughters, but it's for all women and girls. We'll have lunch. We'll have breakfast. We'll have lunch. We'll have door prizes, vendors. We'll have all the things, photo booth. Come out, have a good time. And motheranddaughter.org is our email address. I'm sorry, our website address.
Okay.
And you can find all of the information there.
Hey, Autumn, you're amazing. and put the picture of the book up there.
Yep. Here's the book. You can actually get this on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart. It's in all of the major retailers. But if you want an autographed copy from me personally, you can contact me through Facebook. I'm just Autumn Prather there, and I can send it out to you with an autograph.
Hey, Autumn, thank you again. The pleasure is all
Thank
mine.
you.
I told you it'd be fun. I told you.
You did.
You was all
You
nervous
did.
and stuff. Oh my goodness.
It was all
Stop
good.
It.
We actually could go another
3
3 or 4 hours.
Okay, we can.
But I know we got to stop.
Well, we don't have to stop. We can go a little long if you want to. But I wanna have you back again. I don't want to give everybody everything because you're very interesting. Okay, and I think your story is still being written.
Exactly.
Right now, and I think that should be the goal for everybody, not to be stagnant. If a door closes, build your own door with its own pathway. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when I say renaissance, I mean a woman that constantly trying to figure it out. It's gonna make it work. You have a mother and daughter conference. Y'all have a nonprofit. That's huge, and our young girls need to see that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So last question. I know we're supposed to go. But I got a question.
Okay.
How do you fight that, knowing that social media is battling you? You're trying to empower, but the phone is saying something else.
Oh, man. You know what? That is a really good question.
It's tough.
It's really tough.
Right.
But you have to get in, you have to create the space You have to intentionally create those spaces where those young girls can feel seen, heard, and valued.
Right.
And my goal, whenever I mentor a young lady, is to really show her that I'm not perfect.
Right.
I've made mistakes. I have a story. You know, you're not going to get it right. You're going to fail. But the point is to get up and dust yourself off.
Right.
And keep moving forward. Keep making progress. Do 1% more than you did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, while the phone is there and we are competing against it, you can't replace real life.
Right.
You cannot replace real examples and real mentorship and real conversations. And you have to be consistent.
Right.
And you have to constantly show them that you're interested and
Right.
that you're invested in them. Because you can't scare girls straight.
No, you cannot.
You really cannot.
No, you cannot.
So we, the women, the elders in this community, really have to be the example for our young girls. And it's all in the way, in my opinion, the way we dress.
Right.
I mean, I can't dress in a way if I'm telling her not to dress that way.
That is true.
I can't be out here with my hair all over my head and a bonnet on my head in a grocery store and I'm telling her not to do it as well.
Okay.
You know, I have to set the example.
Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of pushback.
Okay.
Who's to say that what you're saying is the right way? What makes your way the right way when they see other examples who think their way is the right way? How do you combine that? That's a good question.
It's a good question, and I would just say, again, there's a time and place for everything.
Great answer.
There's
Great
a time
answer.
and place for everything.
Great answer. Yes.
Yeah, and if you do it in love and you do it in compassion,
Right.
and you do it with their best interest at heart,
True.
I think it may be received in a better way. Understanding that I don't know their background, I don't know what they're seeing on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
But if I have an opportunity to get in front of them and I can say, you know, I can help you change your outlook.
Right.
I can help you unlearn some of the norms that you may have been learning.
Mm-hmm.
Because in your future, this is going to be more important.
Right.
I understand what you're doing right now, and you may think that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you, your future self is going to thank you.
That is true. And trust me, when I talk to young kids, how you are at 15 is not going to be how you are at 25.
Correct.
Lord knows at 35. So, but it's tough, and that what makes you so important to young girls, to try to let them understand this is I have no reason to lie to you.
Right.
This is important information.
Right.
Okay, and so.
Right. And even though I'm 25, you know, I do know a few things.
A few things.
I do know a few things. I've lived half of a century.
Right, exactly.
Plus one.
Exactly.
So I do know a few things.
So we're gonna stop right here. See, we're gonna come back to part 2 at some point. But thank you again, Autumn.
Thank you so much.
The pleasure has been all mine, and I told you it was gonna be easy. I told you that.
I'm ready to come back whenever.
There it is. Hey guys, this is David Sutter signing off on season 3 of The High Table with the Renaissance woman, Autumn Prather, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.